What's up, guys? Ian here, Commissioner of your NCL, bringing you the Week 7 weekly recap. Pretty quick week here. Lots of games played in the middle of the week, and then we got stalled out by Hamo and Mortal. You guys know how this works. We'll go over the move kills, kill leaders, and then we'll talk about how each of the games played out, and I'll try and go as fast as I can with as much detail as I can get in there. So, first up, move kills. Earthquake still leading the way, miles ahead of everything else. 11 kills there, up on Knockoff in second. Thunderbolt there in third with 15 kills. Not much of a change here, guys. Interestingly enough, Hidden Powers in fourth with 14 kills. Then there's a tie in fifth between Psychic and Toxic, each with 13. Stealth Rocks is by itself in seventh with 12. And then there's a big tie between Skull, Thousand Arrows, Brave Bird, Power Gem, and Moonblast with 11. Um, so that's all like kind of close to Hidden Power there, and Thunderbolt for the last place spot there. 113 unique move kills now. Sorry, we had some really cool Z moves this week. Leech Life got a kill this week. Glaciate, Surf, Spirit Shackle. I think got a kill this week. Yeah, so lots of really cool kills. Move kills, sorry. Unique Z move kills. We have 10 now for a total of 16 Z move kills. Tectonic Rage, Supersonic Sky Strike, Savage Spin Out all still have 3. Bloom Doom has 1, Black Hole Eclipse has 1, Continental Crush has 1, Acid Downpour has 1, Devastating Drake has 1, and then Sub-Zero, Slammer, and Gigavolt Havoc both got a kill this week, subsequently in the same game, actually, which is pretty funny. Myself versus Jed, both of those Z moves got a kill. In terms of your kill leaders, Nihilego picked up 5 kills this week and moved itself all the way up into first place with 12 kills. Nihilego is 12 and 4 plus 8. It's come to 6 games, it's won 5. Volcaron is still sitting in second, did not come this week, so it's 11 and 1 still plus 10. 5 games played, 5 wins. Zygarde 50% got like 3 kills this week, so it's now 9 and 4 plus 5. Came to 6 games, won all 6. Zygarde is actually tied with Azelf, that's 9 and 5. Mega Beedrill, that's 9 and 2. And Nidoking, that's 9 and 2 as well. So they all have 9 kills. And then sitting by itself in 7th is Aerodactyl, 8 and 4. There's a bunch of 7 kills and 6 kills and so on and so forth. There's actually not a lot of mons that don't have any kills anymore. There's quite a few. Up to at least 137 mons have kills. Potentially more based on free agent drops. So that's kind of neat. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat at the very least. Worthy to note, Ariados is last in the entire league, -5 differential, 0 and 5 this season. So that's kind of nifty there. So in terms of the matches, let's go over Jed. Jed ended up losing to myself, the Ladner Lantern. Really tight game. Probably shouldn't have been that close, but he brought a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting and wasn't necessarily prepared for. So that was a really tight game. Actually, that was the closest game of the week. So GG's to Jed there. I ended up breaking his undefeated streak. Austin, what happened to Austin this week? Austin lost to Dom. Dom had a very dominant performance, which was not something I was expecting, but sort of leapfrogged over Austin in the standings with that win. I don't remember too much about the game. Austin gave up damage on the Mega Manectric that was kind of key for later in the game, and then he actually ended up catching Dom with a Thunderbolt against Toxapex. Probably could have gone either way if the game was a little bit different. I'm not sure. Crit Earthquake may have mattered, may not have mattered. Who knows? Tiffany beat Magic in the Stone Point City Blizzard. Very close game. A lot closer than it seemed to have been, actually. And okay, sorry about that. I'm in a call right now, and people are just leaving and joining like dicks while I'm trying to record the weekly recap, and I'm gonna yell at them. Okay. So yeah, Tiff against the Snowpoint City Blizzard. It was a close-ish game, but really, Draft Rig put in way too much work that game. Shade ended up taking a loss. That shouldn't say +8, that should say +0. Shade ended up losing to the UNC Wingles 6-0 this week. Not a very fun match for Shade, and Nidoking ended up changing the tide of that game in the 1v1 against the Crobat early on. Dom beat Austin, like we said earlier. Kind of tossed away Toxapex on a very safe play, and Austin made a risky play and at least pulled a kill out of that game. James in the Crystal Palkia picked up on Ben's choke this week and pulled up the win, making another undefeated team not undefeated and keeping the race very, very, very close in the Black Conference. Matt and the Green Bay Pods got pretty much destroyed by Cade and the LA Latios this week. He made some questionable plays. We were a little bit concerned about why he didn't have Earthquake on the Mega Charizard X, or just didn't kill the Mega Diancie. That game could have gone a lot of different ways, and instead, it ended up going into the gutter. Hamu and the Helsinki Heat beat Mortal and the Philadelphia Pichus in a game where Hamu brought Rocky MZ Terrakion with no Rock-type move besides Rock Polish. And Ben Azu put in a lot of work that game. Ended up being, reasonably tight. Just sort of an entertaining game there. Not much really to talk about. Cade ended up destroying Matt. Like, it was not even close. The Dragon Tail, Thousand Wave, Zygarde put in a lot of work that game, and Mega DNC also put in a lot of work against the scary team, picking off the Avalugg, which was the only thing that was sitting there walling the Zygarde. Myself, I picked up a win over Jed, really tight win, which ended up coming down to Rampardos versus Pangoro, and I think it ended up coming down to Pangoro not getting statused by the Porygon Z Tri-Attack. Hayden picked up a win over Ace and the West Virginia Voltorb this week, dropping 2 kills. Could have been a little bit more, but this was Hayden's biggest win of the season, so congrats Hayden on that. Mortal lost to Hamu, very tight game. Not much he could have done, really. Just didn't have the pieces on his team to be able to beat what Hamu brought. Magic having a very dismal season here. Had absolutely nothing for Girafarig and just kind of lost to it. Didn't bring the Eternal Floette, which was a really big threat against his team, and kind of ended up working out in an unfortunate manner. Ben choked against Jamesy. We were watching this live, and we saw at least 2 opportunities where Ben could have won this game, and he ended up not. So Ben's undefeated streak, it goes down the drain, but he still is first in the conference, so no worries there. Jay picked up a 6-0 win over Shade, and his differential is skyrocketing despite the 5-2 record. Jay is looking very dominant this season and should be on a way to cruise for a playoff spot as we head in with only 5 weeks left to go. And last but not least, Ace took a loss to Hayden and the Pittsburgh Piplups. He's going to have to pull his socks up here and try and get some wins against opponents like Tiff and Mortal to try and salvage his season and maybe pull himself out of relegation territory. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will go yell at these people for leaving the call abruptly, and I will catch you guys next week.